Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So, as you can obviously tell by the channel, I like Allis stuff. And yes, I have ventured into the Allis Lawnmowers now. So, what I got here, it's a 712 Hydro Allis. I really don't know much about them in general. It's got a 12 horse Kohler, and that's the 12 of the 712. Lawnmower wise, the actual mower itself, or machine, whatever you want to call it there, it's a good mower. I had the mower deck, got it with it, but I took it off because it's not what I'm going to use it for. But let me pop the hood open here. It's a little dirty. I still need to wash it, but it was more the fact of I wanted to get it running first. So just a 12 horse Kohler. It seems to run pretty damn good. But of course, had to take the carburetor apart. It had spark. I didn't have to touch nothing with that. It had good spark. As you can tell, so obviously a farmer was in here at some point, gobbled it and got it running. But the battery still works, so I hate to change it until the battery's junk. And everybody knows how it is. The battery's worth as much as the machine is. So, what else have I got to say about it? I had to put a new key switch in it because the one that was in it was just a big ball of rot. So I put a new key switch in it, did a couple wiring things, whatever. The normal. Had to pop the starter off because it was seizing in. We would spin, but it wouldn't actually throw out. So all I did was just spray some penetrating oil on it, and that pretty much fixed that. What else we got here? The hydrostatic lever acts like it could use a little penetrating oil down under there also, because it kind of sticks a little bit. But let's go to the bigger point here. It's got Firestone tires on it. They're 2310 50 12s on 12-inch wheels. They're like the old Field and Roads, I consider. It had just enough room. I had to pop a couple things apart, but there's just enough room to get them in there without them rubbing. But I like the look of it, because if you look at it from the back, it makes it look, kind of like a fat Allis. Just big and bulky. I like the look of it. And then we put triple ribs on the front. These are 350s by 8s. You can see that size there. On little skinny wheels, which gives it, let me just flop the hood down, which just gives it kind of, like a tractor look, like I can go for with all the rest of them. Everything, the wheels popped right up on the beads pretty easy. We had to do a little bit of modification with the front wheels to make them so they'd actually fit on there. But other than that, it really wasn't that hard to do. And we got it, when I stand back and look, the front tire is not quite centered in the rear tire. Same on both sides. It's inside the tire, so at least it looks right. I am actually very happy with how it turned out. I still need to wash it and the whole 9 yards. I might pop the levers off. The stuff I don't want for mowing lawn that I'm not going to use for pulling is all going to leave. Because the whole reason I got this lawnmower we got these tires on their own, but it's because there's one club around here that does stock lawnmower pulling. And I always go to that club, pull antique tractors, and you sit there for a long time watching the lawnmowers because you got to get the tractors weighed in before, the day starts of pulling. So I'm like, I'd like to get a lawnmower of some sort to be able to at least do it so you're not just sitting there, you know what I mean? But my biggest thing is I wanted an Allis. I did not want a, Cub, Cadet, or I didn't want a red one. Didn't really want a green one either. So, but I ended up finding this Allis. It couldn't have been more than a mile by the crow flies over to the guy's house. He said he used it don't remember if he said last summer or the year before. It probably could have been the year before with the amount of leaves and stuff that were on it. He used it to mow his front yard next to his deck because it was nice and small. Could get around his deck easier than his big mower. So that's what he used it for. Left it sit outside one winter, and he thought it locked up. So I was able to get it from him. I actually got two Allis lawnmowers. I'll show you the other one in a later video. But I got this one from him, and he was pretty sure it was locked up. Well, it's a 12-horse Kohler. If it's locked up, it's locked up. Find a different one or rebuild it. It's nothing special here. So I started messing with it. Ended up just the ground wire was so rotten and corroded. You stick Tesla in between the ground wire and the actual where it was grounded to the motor, it would start turning over. So it just got cheap wires got corroded. So that's all. And like I told you, I already did a little bit more wiring on it. But my plan is I'd like to do a little weight bracket or something off the front, just because that's what I do. Like if I put a little weight bracket, I have them John Deere 40s. Mine are all painted orange anyways. I figure I can hang a couple on the steps if I have to. I don't know what the classes are. I think they start like 500 or 600 and they go to, I want to say 12, maybe 1,500 pound class. I don't remember for sure. From what I've been able to look up online, these are about an 800 pound machine. So with me sitting on it, I'll be close if I can get to the 1,000 pound class. I don't think I will be able to, but it'll be close. So hopefully there's like an 1,100 or something, because I've never actually paid attention to the lawnmower pulling. But now I got a lawnmower to do it, that's for sure. With Firestone. That's the bigger thing right there. I got to have everything with Firestone tires on it. Spend more money on the tires than any of the tractors are worth. At least I can make myself laugh about it, I guess. But if you like this lawnmower content, that's a weird thing to say, lawnmower content. But if you like this lawnmower content, you'll see this pulling not... it's the second weekend in June, that is. So we're still 2 weeks away, just about, from when that club is doing their antique tractor pull with the lawnmower pulling. So I still got a little work I want to do to it yet, but nothing serious. The tires and getting it running was the big thing. I didn't videotape it, any of getting it actually running, because I just didn't think about it. If you want to know the truth, I just wasn't thinking about it. I just wanted to get it going so I could pull it. But it's really, honestly, I just can't believe it got dented right here at one point. Somehow it got dented in. But other than that, the tin isn't in bad shape. A little dent right there from when I'm sure they backed into something at one point. But here, I'll fire it up for you too. I should have done that earlier. Here's that. It had, I don't know, I want to say probably 1.5 gallons of gas in it. And I pulled it off the bottom of the fuel filter, and I started draining it, and it looked just like sheer water. So I let it drain. And then it turned out, it started to clear up. It started to look like and smell like gas. So I put it back on. We squirted a couple shots of oil down the spark plug hole, just so, because it hadn't been running, and the guys thought that it was locked up, and it wasn't. But just so it had some oil in it, and it actually fired and ran on that old gas, but I ended up just draining it out and putting a fresh gas in it. Like I said, I had to pull the carburetor apart, and it had a buildup of like slime in it, like the ethanol. When it dried up, it left the nasty slime. But other than that, I mean, it just... it just runs. So, alright, well, you'll be seeing this polling in a couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. And there'll be a lot more videos of the D19 polling. Oh, there'll probably even be a couple D17 videos coming up here pretty quick. So, please stay tuned.